So here we are, Soul Wars. One of the biggest chunks on my account, one of the biggest rollable chunks that I had, one of the longest chunks. Is it a death chunk? I'm not so sure. I doubt it will take me 1,000 hours unless I go dry on the pet, unless I go dry on the Dragon Med Helm. Obviously those are the two rarest things I need, so 1 in 600 for the Dragon Med and 1 in 400 for the pet. So we're just going to run through the tutorial quickly. I've only ever played one game of Soul Wars, I think, which was during Leagues. I think there was a task on Leagues where you had to finish a game of Soul Wars. But essentially, I went into this completely blind. I didn't really know anything about it. I'd looked at a couple of guides. I've looked at a couple of other One Chunk accounts who have rolled Soul Wars in the past. Someone like Frey or Seikis. I hope I haven't mispronounced his name, but yeah, they're two of the sort of well-known people who have done Soul Wars on the Chunk account. The difference with Frey is he has much higher stats than me. I'm pretty sure he's 99 in everything, except prayer, but I think he's working on prayer now. And yeah, he obviously had good weapons, high stats. I'm pretty sure he had pretty good armor, and he has people who defend him, so I'm not sure if they actually help defend him in Soul Wars, but in the wilderness they defend him. But when it comes to me, I have 70 attack, 75 strength, which isn't bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. There are plenty of lower levels at Soul Wars than the level I am. But I don't really have access to the best gear. Armor, essentially. I have rune plate body and rune legs and rune helm. But for range, I have like leather or red van braces, red d'hide. For mage, not even worth talking about. I have a hat and an amulet of magic. So I am pretty up against it when it comes to fighting other players. So I went into it probably a bit naively, thinking it'll be fine. But a lot of the people here are maxed, or pures that have like 99 strength, 99 range, 99 mage. Like, I just can't compete. I died all the time. And some games were good, some games were bad. There were some games where I didn't get attacked. I could quite happily just attack the tormented souls, whatever they're called. Yeah, there are other games where it felt like I was getting just targeted. People, obviously you get more zeal when you kill people. If you keep killing the same person, I think you get less per kill. But people in max gear or with really good gear, or barrage was a massive issue for me. There was nothing really I could do to counter it because I didn't have good range armor. I was basically just wearing rune armor the whole time, and obviously that has a very negative magic bonus. So like it caught all the time, and there was nothing I could do. So fighting in PvP was essentially off the table. I couldn't fight back. I just had to hope that I wasn't targeted, because you can see in the clips, like, I'm just getting destroyed. Like, I've got a few defense levels from fighting the people to get the soul fragments. But essentially, a lot of the games I had to be lucky to get enough fragments to donate, or I had to just try and get bones to bury to get some sort of zeal, because I couldn't get any of it from from PvP. And I found it really difficult. I'm not gonna say I wanted to give up, I wanted to backlog it, because I didn't. Like, I'm committed. I know there's been a bit of discourse around the mage training arena stuff, which I talked about in my last video, where people think, I don't know, I think some people think that I'm not fully committed to the grinds, or I'm not willing to do the long ones, but I am. It's just, you've got someone barraging you constantly, and just people come up to you and just smack you a 50. And it gets very frustrating when it's like nothing you can do to prevent it. Like, I can try and stay to the sides, try and stay towards our own graveyards, but if someone high level comes near me, there's not really much I can do to stop it. So there's a bit of a death compilation on screen. My prayer flicks are really not the best. I've never really done PvP, I've never really enjoyed PvP. I've tried to steer clear of the wilderness unless absolutely necessary on all my other accounts, but like, I don't really have a choice. Now there are some people who've said do the duo method, do the dolo method, which essentially means it's just you and your ult account. And then yeah, your ult account leaves after a few minutes, and once you've donated some fragments and captured some points, then you just, yeah, you can get free Zeal without having to actually play the game as it's intended. So that's definitely something I was willing to look into, but I wanted to give the actual Soul Wars minigame a chance, because like I said, I'd never done it before. And yeah, some games are really fun. Some games, like, your team was good, your team was coherent, your team was willing to help you if you got attacked. And other games, you just kind of get spawn camped. Like, if the other team captures all 3 points, you respawn back at essentially the start where you first spawn in. And the other team knows this, so they can all push up knowing that there's no escape. And if the other team is more skilled at PvP than our team, then yeah, the games can be long and tedious, and you can just, I don't know, sometimes I'd die like 10 times in a game. And it just, yeah, it wasn't enjoyable. But that was only some of the time, not all the time. I'm not going to sit here and moan and say, oh, I feel I've had the worst time in my life, I'm not enjoying it at all, because it is fun. You get to talk to people, meet people. There's a lot of trash talk between the teams in the lobby. Yeah, so it's not all bad. It is a lot bad, but it's not all bad. And yeah, you can get specced out. Just my whole HP bar was gone. Probably should have played melee, but I probably would have died anyway. But yeah, the Zeal per hour was very slow. I have to get 18,000 Zeal to hit the drop rate for the Dragon Med, as each loot crate is 30 Zeal, and the drop rate is 1 in 600, so 18,000 Zeal, or 12,000 Zeal for the pet drop rate. So it's a lot of games, and when you're constantly dying over and over again, and then you lose as well. Some games I was getting like 10 Zeal, 12 Zeal, and there's a 5-minute lobby wait, and then a 15-minute game, and then you get like 12 Zeal at the end. Like 12. So you have to do that 3 times an hour, because most games last the whole time. You're getting like less than 50 Zeal an hour, and I need 18,000 for the loot. Then I need to go from 59 to 70 prayer, all the Zeal for that. It's just, plus I need the ectoplasmator and the soul cape. That's another 2,750, so 18,000 plus nearly 3,000 for the other loot, and then the other 6,000 odd Zeal for the prayer. I'm needing 27,000 zeal. And I'm getting 50 an hour sometimes. Sometimes I get 100 an hour. But between 50 and 100 zeal per hour, and I need 27,000 zeal, that's 270 hours on a good day. If I'm getting spawn camped and I'm getting 10 zeal, it's just adding extra time onto the grind. So it was something I had to be very wary about. So it got me thinking about, what could I do with this duo method? Is it faster zeal per hour? Is it much more click intensive? Is it effort? Like, what's the pros and cons? So that's something I definitely had a quick look into, and I'll come back to that later in the video. But essentially, this is my experience of Soul Wars. I think I got about 4 kills in about 8,000 zeal worth of games. So that's probably in about 100 hours. I got like 4 or 5 kills that I got credit for. Obviously there was times where we'd all power the same person, but I'm not counting that. And I probably died about 2,000 times. Genuinely, it was that bad. If one clip was to sum up this whole experience, I fought someone with 2 HP and I literally just die. I can't even kill someone who's got 2 HP. He's not even praying melee, he's not even praying against me, and I just die. That being said, it is easy to dwell on the negatives, but there are a lot of positives as well. We are killing so many of these forgotten souls and these wolves that we've gone from 67 odd defense to level 79 and 76 hit points, which is genuinely amazing. Obviously I do have access to the Lumbridge defense cape, so if you remember from previous videos, when I use melee I have to use defense. So here is a demonstration of the duo method, or the duolo method. I think it's the duolo method. Essentially, you have 2 accounts logged in at the same time. You have 1 account in one chat channel and 1 account in a different chat channel. When you enter the pen on the opposite side to the normal play, the normal game of Soul Wars, you can challenge each other to a game. Obviously, as there's only 2 of you, 1 of you goes on each team. Now, as Chunk Danny, my Chunk account has low melee stats and my ult has high melee stats, it is my ult's account to go to the higher level Forgotten Souls and kill 8 of them. Now they drop 4 fragments each, so you want to get 32 fragments. So as my higher account is killing all these NPCs, my Chunk account is going throughout the map capturing each point. 3 in total, 2 graveyards and then the obelisk in the middle. Now, once my big account has killed 8 and my Chunk account has captured all 3 points, my Chunk account will go and meet in the middle and wait for my ult account to finish collecting all the fragments. Once I've collected all the fragments, I will munch on my Dwarven Rock Cake, get my hit points down to 1 HP, and then I will also go up to the obelisk and let my Chunk account kill me, and then pick up all the fragments, donate all the fragments to the obelisk, and then my ult account will forfeit the game. So 16 zeal, and that was with about 12 minutes remaining, so it took 3 minutes to get 16 zeal. And you can run straight back into the pen and you can challenge each other straight after. So this is very important in two ways. First of all, 16 zeal guaranteed in 3.5 minutes. Now, if you just say base 3 minutes, that means you can get 20 games in. Maybe one less than that, but let's just say 20 for argument's sake. 20 times 16 is 320 per hour. This is up from, like I said earlier, 50 zeal, maybe 100 zeal per hour. So it's 3 times faster. There's no 5-minute wait in between games. And you're guaranteed zeal. You don't have to rely on luck. You don't have to rely on whether the other team wants to just keep killing you over and over again. It's guaranteed. You capture all 3 points, you kill the 1 HP auto count, donate the fragments, and that's it. Repeat. This could genuinely be a game changer. Genuinely an absolute game changer. This method could potentially cut hundreds of hours off my grind. Hundreds of hours. And it's so simple. It does completely strip the community aspect, the fun aspect out of Soul Wars. But if I get bored, I can just go and play a regular game. I have the option to pick between really fast zeal and a bit of tediousness and more fun and less zeal per hour, but a break from the mundane repetitiveness. So genuinely, 15 or 16 zeal per game guaranteed is amazing. In the breaks, I was killing moss giants when I couldn't focus on playing Soul Wars properly. Moss giants are nice and AFKable, so I would go and kill them, try and get some mossy keys, and obviously the pretty good prayer XP. You get 15 prayer per kill. So I got my second mossy key on KC 520 after waiting 488 for the first one. I had gone so long without getting another key, and then I got my fourth longbone. 939 kills now I'm up to, and I've still only got 2 keys. 4 longbones. It just doesn't make any sense how dry I'm going. And then finally, I got my third mossy key on KC 986. So it's a 1 in 150 drop rate. It took me 488 to get my first, 32 to get my second, and then about 460 to get my third. So RNG is actually hilarious. And then just to show how utterly bizarre RNG is and how bizarre RNG can be, I got my 4th key on KC 1024. So that's again about 40 kills in between my 3rd and my 4th key. So I've got 480, then 30, then 460, and then 40, something like that. And then what makes it even stranger is 4 kills after my 4th mossy key, I get my 5th. 4 kills in between keys after 2 lots of 400 plus. It's ridiculous. I'm not going to commentate every single mossy key I get, because that would just be pretty tedious, but I thought it would just be interesting seeing as it took me so long to get my 1st and 3rd key, like the difference in kills to key ratio. So I finished this session anyway on 9 keys in just less than 1,500 kills. So I'm actually very close to being on rate after going so dry. So 9 keys, 1,462 kills. a big defense level coming in now. Our biggest level in a while actually, and it's level 80 defense. But we've got so much defense XP this chunk. We started on level 67 and it's now level 80, so nearly quadrupled our experience. Sometimes when I'm doing my Duolo method in a random world, there's like 100, I've called them bots in previous videos and I've been corrected. There's a large amount of people, let's just say more than 100 accounts. I can only imagine they're botting, or there's just farms of people doing Soul Wars. Either way, you can do it and just get free XP and free Zeal with little to no effort. None of them go and sacrifice fragments, so I was the only one in the game sacrificing fragments. And then you just attack the avatar. No one attacks you. It's great. And this was one of the only times it actually happened. I got 60 Zeal, which is the maximum amount you can get. So I've probably done 150 hours, maybe 200 hours of Soul Wars this video. I haven't showed really any of the good parts, I've only showed me dying, but sometimes these positive things happen, and yeah, 60 Zeal, nice and easy, no effort at all, beautiful. I decided to give Soul Wars a break, and don't worry, we'll get to the loot opening just towards the end of this video. But I started doing some woodcutting. I'm very close to 99. I'm actually 300 or so thousand away from 98. And I got another golden egg. I think that's the third, or the fourth maybe. But it's insane. Some people just struggle to get one. I've got 3 golden eggs and I think 4 fox whistles. So if you still are chasing the golden egg, I'm sorry, but it seems like a skill issue, to be honest, to me. And with that being said, level 50 thieving. We've gone from level 40 to 50 entirely on the pheasant forestry event. So that just kind of paints how much woodcutting I've been doing. And not long after, level 98 woodcutting, the highest level on the account, 1 to go until the maximum. And it's probably going to be about 40 hours, 35 to 40 hours. It's not very efficient, but I am using my rune axe and I am participating in the forestry events when they come around. So the next woodcutting level will be 99. A nice wholesome moment here. This was a guy who noticed who I was at the yew trees. He said that he was a fan of my videos. This was before my last video came out, so there was like a 4 or 5 month gap in between videos. So we had a bit of a conversation. He said he missed the videos, he was enjoying the series. And I said, yeah, I'm working on some things, just been a bit busy, family stuff, all that stuff. And he came to offer me a bond. So that was so nice of him. And if you're watching, I hope you are, then I just want to say I really appreciate you. Like, you don't have to buy me stuff in-game or out of game. Like, just, yeah, thank you, I really appreciate it. After speaking about it previously, literally a couple of clips ago, it was almost inevitable what was about to happen. It's been a running theme on my account that I'm spoon-fed to fuck on the fox whistles, on the forestry events. And what do you know? Another juicy little fox whistle to add to the collection. I'm just going to quickly go and have a check to see how many this is now. Like, how do I actually find the fucking thing? Collection log, there we go. Forestry. 4 fox whistles. 3 golden eggs. Slightly disappointed that I don't have a duplicate on the necklace, but there we are. After a lot of grinding, a lot of chopping trees, the time is finally here. My good friend Chunklius, who has appeared in every video, is with me as I sit 1000 XP away from level 99. It's fitting to me that I started my woodcutting journey in Edgeville right back in episode 1, where I was killing the thugs and the skeletons to get my first 2 axes on the account. Since then, I've chopped thousands and thousands of trees, and only recently have I got my rune axe. I thought it would be fitting, whilst I got my rune axe, to finally get the woodcutting cape, as it has been something that's been eating away at me for quite a few months now. So I've done the majority on yew trees. I've chopped some willow trees here and there. Obviously I used willow trees up to level 72 because I had a terrible axe. But since then, realistically, I've only done yews. Which is great for the bank balance. It was great for me getting the 5 mil Edgeville respawn. And just as I was about to get 99, someone in the clan got level 90, so congrats to you. But I'm just going to wait a couple seconds just so I get my own spotlight, my own time to shine. My first cape on the account. Generally, it's a really nice feeling, and it's probably one I should have had ages ago. When I first started the account, I made it clear that I wasn't going to be going for skill capes, which there was a couple of reactions, such as like, you're not a proper one chunk, proper extreme I should say, which is why I've changed my name to Semi-Xtreme. I still do a lot of the long grinds, just the skill capes isn't one of them. But I thought it's time to change that, and here we are, 1 log away. And this is level 98, using a rune axe, and it's still taking a long time even to get a singular log. So we're still waiting patiently to get the final log we need to get level 99. And still waiting patiently. Of course it would happen, I'd get such a long wait for my last log. Are we ever going to get the log? Yes, there we are. 99 woodcutting. You are a master chopper. That looks so beautiful. You are a master of woodcutting. Wilfred in Lumbridge has access to the cape. And as usual, when someone gets a 99, the CC goes wild. Shout out to Chunklius for joining me on this special occasion. I did wait until he was online so that he could enjoy the moment with me. But there we go. Thank you to everyone in the CC. Thank you to all the friends who have cut with me so that I have access to forestry events, because obviously I still don't have access to the backpack. So when I do have access to that, there will be a lot more woodcutting coming into the future. But right now, we are a master woodcutter. Beautiful. I've arrived in Lumbridge and am making my way to the guy who has the woodcutting cape. So just a quick bit of dialogue, and then we have to part with 99,000 coins. No problem at all. And there we are on the account. the woodcutting cape and the woodcutting hood. So that's a cape that now has the added benefit of giving me extra bird's nests when I chop, which could be very helpful in the future. And also a cape that has a high prayer bonus, so that could also be very good for the future. So with that being said, it's now time to head to Soul Wars and show you the loot I've got from the 11,000 Zeal worth of games that I've accumulated so far. So let's go. So in my inventory now, you can see all of the loot that I've got throughout my entire 11,000 or so Zeal loot crate opening. So already you can see some absolutely amazing things for the account. 14,000 adamant arrows, 9,000 rune arrows, 11,000 rune bolts, 16.5 thousand rune bolts. That is going to last me such a long time, and whenever I need to do something with ranged, I will be stacked out for absolutely ages, as well as having enough nature runes to fill and finish every single nature rune point I need at the mage training arena, as well as deaths and bloods for high level magic spells, and 24,000 soul runes, which is insane. Following on from that, we then have 316,000 pure essence, which I do actually have access to the fire altar. So if ever I get a rune crafting challenge, I can probably get, I don't know, 80 rune crafting just doing fire runes. That's going to be one hell of a boring, tedious grind, but if I have to do it, I have the resources I need to do it. Moving forwards, 2,500 raw sharks, which again, for PVM grinds in the future and cooking experience, amazing. We also have swordfish and lobsters. In the background I have been cooking some lobsters, which I'll show you in the next video, but great for the cooking, and obviously I need these for my cooking grind of being able to actually cook the sharks in the first place, so these will be invaluable to me. Moving forwards, we have 1,600-ish, 1,700 rubies and diamonds, which again, great for crafting, great for future jewellery. We then have the dragon items, which is a bit of a kick in the teeth because these are the same rarity as the dragon med helm, 1 in 600. We've got 6 of these and no med, which we actually only here for the med, so that's pretty upsetting. 1.3 mil nearly, 10 rune full helms, 10 rune plate bodies, 69 runite ore, 10 raynars, 9 snapdragons, 7 torstals, 15 full keys, and that's not actually right, so just gonna go back into the bank and get how much it actually is, which is this much. Chuck it back all in, and we've got 24 mil of loot nearly. But there is no pet, there is no dragon med helm, so we will be continuing Soul Wars in the next episode until we get both of these drops, as well as enough fish to hit my cooking goal. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed.